Design sheet and design sheet like design sheet. Yeah. Okay, you can access it from on top here. Yeah, if I can do something. But you cannot launch it anymore. Yeah, Shalom again, Israel. I.S.U.P.K Trinidad and Tobago, right? Again, under Commander General Diana, the hardest working man with Israel. And what you're seeing here, is the fruits of his labor. Because Commander General Diana, continue to raise up, schools throughout, the four corners of the earth under, King Yahawashi, right? In that same spirit. And for kind of the order, you see what is in all these schools that have been raised up under his watch. And that spirit is something not to take light. Because Most High God, always had a spirit in righteous black men. And this is why our King, Yahawashi, he came, and redeemed himself, whereby we can have this opportunity. And without him being, redeemed, we wouldn't have this opportunity. And that's why we must say, Yahawashi. Because why? He raised up, righteous black men in a time where, men, what we call 12 disciples, were walking with him. They ask questions. And the questions that they ask, they see it firsthand and see what it is to be amongst a people and a nation where scriptures say we were robbed and spoiled. And seeing that we were spoiled by many different teachings, many different philosophies, many different doctrines, and moving away from these instructions. This is why we end up being in this position that we in at present. But notice, dwelling on it, keeps us more, in the as we say, the low impoverished state. But the Most High God always, had righteous black men, and King proved that. Because these men that follow, they make sure that, what they were taught, these instructions were taught to men who were moved in the spirit, and the Most High God raising their spirit and moving it in the right direction. Meaning that they had a zeal towards this people, this nation, in going out and bringing this reminder to them. And this is where you see the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General. That zeal and that spirit from the Most High under King Yahawashi, and by Commander General Yana holding that mantle at present. This is why we be on this platform bringing that reminder, right? And again, the question will always be posed and asked. But now again, the solution to all the questions is right here in the I.S.U.P.K. I let you know straight up and down, like it is. You have questions, come in here and ask it. It would be answered righteously. And through our record, our history, through this book, which we call Bible. Right? And again, everything that we bring it out here is because now we can go back to the scriptures and we can prove it. Because now the tongue of all native tongue is supposed to be Hebrew. Now we speak it in English. Why are we speaking in English? Because now this is the language of our oppressor. Our Hispanic brothers, they speak in the language of our oppressor too, which is again Spanish Hispanic or Spanish, right? And we know the real Spaniards are, they are Caucasian people or white people, or we call them, as we say, our oppressors. And this is why, knowing our history and knowing who we are is important. And this is why, again, when the question again is asked, and we love to ask questions, and we like brothers and sisters, to chime in, to come on the chat, to come in the live, ask your questions. This is how we start by asking questions. But if you do ask a question now, what we answer to a question, it will just be in your mind. And we already know, Commander General, and I went in on a topic, how to fight the demons. And you keeping that, this demon will continue to have its way, continue to work, and continue to prosper, because he has one job. And the more he do that, his way, or as I say, his legions are prosperity are conquered, is making sure that, hey, you keep this on your mind without going to the relevant authority. And who is the relevant authority? The men in the I.S.U.P.K. To help you fight what is on your mind, to help you resolve all your problems, all your issues. Because again, in the spirit of the Most High Christ, there's only one direction, or one spirit that passes through, and that spirit again is in the I.S.U.P.K. Because now we have a case for black people, and when I say black people, I talk about these 12 tribes, talk about these brothers. We have concerns, because without you having a concern, you would leave your brother to do what? As you say, to vanish away on the wayside. You leave daughters to be molested, to be abused. You run to what we call the abortion clinics to have, as you say, this future nation unalive, ripped apart or ripped out from the woman's womb. And this is why again it's so important right now that we continue to expound and bring that reminder throughout all the schools in the I.S.U.P.K. under command of GEN.YAHANNA. And again, this is not a Christian church, this is not religion. This is a people, a nation, a bloodline, a royal people who have moved away from the instructions of their father and started to take up the customs and culture of these other nations. And because of doing that, we will, as we say, we feel the sticky end of the stick. The stick now is the correction. So now that stick comes down by the correction. Now we will continue, as we say, be disobedient, or we stand up and make our wrongs right. And how do we do that? By turning away from following the customs and culture of the other nations and drop the philosophy, drop the doctrine. Come out from religion. And this is why now again, when the question was asked, was posed on the topic of the classes, do your pastors, follow the teachings of Jesus Christ? And every time they hear the word Jesus Christ, the first depiction that they come to blacks, Latino, that they take in their mind is a white depiction. And by that coming to your mind, the first thing you say, yeah, we think whatever, but now when you go to the scriptures and you go to our records and you will get slack. Yeah, you just given Revelation 1 and number. Because because now this is something that needs to be revealed. And why it needs to be revealed? Because again, these is reminders, and again, your pastor, do they follow as you say Jesus Christ? But again, Hebrew or native tongue, they say how shine in Hebrew, right? And to read out, we're going to read out our history. And these are questions that you can pose to your pastor. You know, even if you're Black, Latino, Native, and you're following their custom and their culture, and you're in the religion, because now this is where it is. Because now you following the religion of what men use to keep you oppressed or to keep you in servitude. Right? Yeah.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
Right? And why again, and we just went to the book of Revelation. Because now this is something that, you know, John, you know, again, a brother, a disciple of Christ, walking under, you know, walking in the time of our King Yahushua, was able to get before, you know, his time was up. And given this revelation, it brought that sense of awareness where Black, Latino, Native Indian today, we can go back and we can open the records and we can do everything that we read about and everything that we listen right now, what's going on in the Gaza Strip, in Ukraine, Russia. We could attest to that because now we can go to the records and scripture say prove all things, we can prove what's going on inside of it.
Right.
And this is why, you know, everything that we're bringing out now is what is proof. And this is why, you know, again, the pastor, the imam, do they teach what Christ teach? Do they follow what Christ follow? Again, ask them because now we're reading something out of our records. And it says, this is the revelation of Jesus Christ. What revelation means? Right? To reveal. He's going to reveal something. Right? And we say, which must what? Shortly come to pass. Meaning, it not long. But, as we say, this is why these records are so important. And you know what I have to say. Things might look like it have a delay, but it have a time. And when it comes, that time will go. And we, as we say, in our state, in following religion, in believing what pastors say, what the imams say, what the Egyptologists say, what religion say, we'll be, as we say, lost and deeply depressed. In our society, will continue to push us into deeper depression. And that deeper depression, I say, how more deep it get than where we are right now. If you're Black, Latino, Native Indian, in North, South, Central America, you're facing the same atrocities, the same affliction, the same persecution that any Black, Latino, Native Indian would face on a daily basis. Now, this should be a question. Why a pastor not telling you this? Why? Because again, he have a job to do. Just as we have a job to do, to go out and the men that come up under this pathway, under King Yahushua, our job was to go and to remind or to say to fish. That's why he called these men, say, come, and I will make the fishers of men. Why he make mention of that? Because why? This is the time where that redemption is taking place. You're going to be redeemed. You have a chance to redeem yourself, to get yourself right. And you having that opportunity, again, every brother and sister that the Most High God wake up to this truth should be ever grateful. Should be ever grateful. And have that zeal to go out and reach our next brother, to reach our next sister. And this is what the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General has given since 1960. Right? Read it one more time.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
And we see that line and we see that chain of command. Both sides God pass the instructions through King Yahweh Jesus Christ and the angels coming, and then now it reached to John. John was a servant, just as we are servants today under King Yahweh. Commander General is a servant under King Yahweh. We are servants under Commander General and we serve Christ. So what we're going to do, we're going to speak the same thing. We're going to bring the same reminder in that same spirit. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 2, who bear record of the word of God and of the testimony of Jesus Christ and all things that he saw.
Right? And why? Because this brother, he walked in the time of our King Yahweh. He walked in the time of Jesus Christ. And in doing this, was able to do what? To make sure that in his time, we could open the book or records and we could read about things that will surely come to pass, things that were passed on through the Spirit of the Most High Christ unto this brother, and things that we can be able to bring out and remind brothers and sisters, just as we were reminded. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 3, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
Read that one more time and after. This is why it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Why is a blessing? Because now brothers and sisters can be able to hear truth, understand truth, and to know truth. Because now what is happening before us? Go ahead,
Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
Because why? We telling brothers and sisters why the time is at hand. If your pastor, again, did follow the instructions of this book, half of the things, or 3/4, or let me say 90% of the things that is taking place right now in the black community in Trinidad and Tobago, brothers, drugs and guns in the community, brothers unaliving, this holiday, as I said, the pagan holiday upon the New Year's, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas. If your pastor was following these instructions, these things would have been cut off a long time. Since in the time, and let's draw in reference as back as our fathers coming up and knowing, hey, we're not supposed to do this, we're not patriotic this, not so, because now what will happen? They will do what? They would, as I say, go beyond and beyond to make sure that, as I say, this child would deserve this gift or anything. They want to unalive somebody. They want to, take away a next man, a next man queen, a next man labor. Because now the only person or the only situation coming up rivalry is you. Because who out on the streets 24? Who out and you see on the greens, on the grind? Who grinding it? 24. Who out on the, as you say, out on the, as you say, out in the field toiling, 24. Labor. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indian. Our, as you say, our counterparts, or as you say, these other nations and them, they will hold, as you say, the most high end at the job, because now they would be in the position of hiring and firing. And this is what we're seeing right now taking place. And your religious leader sit on the sideline and watch this take place because of what? Because why? He lacks something. He lacks knowledge, he lacks truth, he lacks understanding. And this is why now the question again, to these pastors and them. I know they, as you see the online, they listening and the viewing. Come up on the chat and ask your question. Do hide, because now this is something that a man must be redeemed. A man must refrain from, because now what we say, rather than mega church, rather than let me say, whatever denomination or whatever congregation you're running, you would sit and you would have an audience or you have a crowd, and the majority or 99.9% and the people that are sitting in that audience is black, Hispanic people with them. Next 1%, they will just pass through, because I was like, you just have to, because their hand inside of it is in control of wherever building or wherever place that they will be hosted this week. And this is why, again, as a reminder to brothers and sisters, come out from these religious organizations, come out from the church, come out from amongst things that will deter you from truth, and start seeking truth genuinely. And most high God is going to open your spirit, because now every day the question that again, let me say on a brother or sister, like, hey, they want to know the truth. And then as they ask that, when they see what's taking place, it's like, wait, but they just fail. And now I say they fail the seats. But the Most High God revived us. And this is why now we can read about this. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 4. John, to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before the throne.
And why? Now we see just as I made mention, there's always a structure and order. And everything that is being carried out right now in Hebrews is carried out in that same structure and that order. And John, having this vision, and what is being revealed unto John, is he for him to pass this message, or to bring this reminder to schools and them, to bring these reminders to these brothers and sisters. And this word church, again, this is one of the phrases that the Roman Catholic Church took and used it to do what? To further their indoctrination to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because now, when you hear the word church, you will take it as I say that place, where they would call a place of worship. But really and truly, when you hear the word school, what come to your mind? A place where you can go and do what? And learn. And this is why now they remove that. Because now you reading this, and imagine you're reading this, it's like you're reading one more time, but use the word school in it.
You do the school and
verse 4. When it says to the 7 churches, remember the Roman Catholic Church, remove this word, the word school, and put church. So now when brothers and sisters now hear this now, they will think like it's a place of worship, and they know a place of, but when you hear the word school, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind when you hear the word school? When you hear the word school now?
Yeah.
What comes to your mind? Like a place of worship. When they hear the word church, we don't think about worship, a place of worship. So it shows you 2 different things. You now thinking about your worshiping, but we're supposed to be doing it. Supposed to be coming to do what? To learn. So now when you hear the word church now, as I say, what the Roman Catholic Church did, now what now? Although we take by your worship, wherever that's why your pastor can put sideline here. He can deter you. So now we just going to use school where it's supposed to be, instead of the word church.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 4. John, to the 7 schools which are in Asia, grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come. The 7 spirits which are before the throne.
Right? Because now we hear the word school. Now you know what it is. These schools that John was speaking about is a place where brothers and sisters had the opportunity to do what? To learn this. To learn these records, to know the truth. To know that this truth is what is going to stand forever. And know that, hey, why sin have taken place around me? I know it ain't right. What I'm facing on a daily basis, I know it ain't right. Then now the question will be asked now, say, what I can do within, being this person or being a people that is stigmatized or labeled as, or given the most heinous names that you could ever come about, as you say in the English language, because now every word in the English language now means a thing. And they would use it in the most, as you say, heinous way, or as you say, disrespectful way. Remember, that's way in simple terms, the most disrespectful way. And you now will take that in, that is something that scarred to my spirit, scarred to my soul, scarred to our people, and would ask why, that this is keep on taking place, because why? Now you read this vision of John, that John had, again, as you say, to the 7 schools. So now you're removing something from your mind. So now this word that is in church is school. This was done by the Roman Catholic Church. The church that everybody does attend, as they say, your imam, your pastor, your bishop, or however you want to put it. They would attend this religion because why? They follow the doctrine of Rome. We follow the instructions of our King, Jesus Christ or I.S.U.P.K. This is why it's important for us to bring this reminder. Go ahead, Bible.
SHALAM, verse 5. And from Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness, and the begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us, and washed us from our sins.
Because why? All what took place, as you say, we didn't even deserve to be, as you say, to be the chosen or the people of the Most High. But again, this was a covenant, this was an oath that the Most High God made between him and Abraham. And we being from that seed or that bloodline, this is how we were redeemed. Because why? Because of the price of our brother taking that stand, whereby these brothers could be redeemed. So now Christ came from the line of as you say, or from the tribe of Judah. Now the next brothers and them, how they would be redeemed? By him making being that, as you see, that perfect sacrifice. So whereby Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Gad, Ephraim, Manasseh, Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, these brothers could be redeemed because of what? Of what this one brother did to make sure that they would have right standing with our Father. Because we moved away from his instructions. And this is why, again, he paid the price. So these brothers could be redeemed. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 6. And had made us kings and priests unto God and his Father. To him be the glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
Right? And why you say had made us kings and priests? Because now we know the history. In the time of us coming out of Egypt, there was a priesthood. The Levites hold that portfolio in the priesthood in the nation. Now, just as it said, it was so we are all, that's why in the scripture say that we are all kings and priests, right? Just as it said. Because why? In the time that Melchizedek, and this is again the next breakdown, right? When he walked This is why the scripture say that walk after the priesthood, after the order I mentioned again. Because why? There was no given or I would say chosen specific person to uphold or to carry out that priesthood. And this is why, you know, when we walk after that, we say we make us all kings and priests, because again, at that time, was only the tribe of Levi. Now all the tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, they were the priests or righteous black men would come out of these loins. This is why the Most High God say he had reserved, you know, 7,000 or 5,000 men who have not bowed, or taken the tobacco, or not worship no false image, or no God, no idol. Because why? These men and them come up in that same spirit. And this is why these is reminders unto us. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. The angels of the earth shall wail because of him, even so.
Right? And again, when you read this, it's like, you know, just like, you know, how we always, you know, talking before, like a marker. Right. Like a marker. Right. Now I have a marker, and I know it. Hey, if for some reason, as we say, we know it's true, and without that doubt, our King is on his soon return. Being in the presence of us here today, what would be our, you know, main focus or portfolio? Right. Would we, as we say, still continue to, as we say, to do our own thing, or we'd step up and walk in line? Because now, again, these pastors and them, what they're doing? They're doing the opposite. Because right. Now they're not following these instructions. They're not following these teachings. They're not following what they were, as you say, they themselves proved to be men of God. Because now if you say, oh, he's a man of God and you follow Jesus Christ, now when the instructions come out, and this is why now the Lord doing something right now again too, he exposing them. He exposing, as I say, the lewdness, the effeminacy. He's showing how weak and how, you know, effeminate these men and them are, and who they were hiding under, and who they continue to try to hide under. And the Holy Scripture says, give not thy strength unto a woman. These men and them give everything unto these women and them. And this is why now, again, it's so important for us to bring this reminders. Go ahead, Pastor.
Verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, said the Lord. And which is to come, the Almighty.
Right? And he just let me know that he's king. He was there from the beginning, and he will be there in the end. And he is the master of our soul. Go ahead.
Verse 9. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation and in the kingdom and patience of Jesus Christ, was on SHALAM, the isle that is called Patmos, for the word of God and for the testimony of Jesus Christ.
And again, understanding and knowing what is happening. Again, John, in this vision, being revealed unto him, you know, again, just like any black Latino native Indian would be in that state, you know, what we call depression, and not having that right counsel, you could go off. You could go off. And this is what we see happening in the black community. Not having that right counsel, what happened to brothers? They would think that drugs is the end game. Guns is the end game. You know, as I say, unaliving brothers is the end game. Being a 6 and a 9 is the end game. Molesting children is the end game. You know, as you say, kidnapping and using and abusing sisters is the end game. When really and truly that is not what it is. Because why? There's always that redemption. And what we're reading about the pastor and them again. I've not brought this out. I've not bring that reminder out. So brothers and sisters.
Right.
Go ahead.
Now, verse 10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 schools which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea.
Right. So now, John, as you say, in that spirit, in the right mind, clothed, as the scripture say, we clothed in the right mind. When we clothed in the right mind, what will it be? Be focused on the instructions of the Lord.
Right.
Be focused on making sure that whatever work is before us in righteousness, we're going to carry it out. We have a duty to perform. Because now this is not just about us, it's about reminders. So now what John doing here, all what John taking place here now, we can be able to read about it. Because now he was reminded what happened to us. Now we be reminded as well. And being in that spirit, we always bring that reminder. We always tell brothers and sisters, hey, that's why I keep on hearing everybody come up on the table and they come to class. We have a school in the point 40 Morris Street. You know, walk on the web page, look, and look, make a contact with the number, communicate. That's why this is what love is, not for religion taught, it's not what your pastor tell you. This is why your pastor can't even come up now and defend what the question that is asked. Because why? He coming up and trying to defend that question, now it will always bring something towards his congregation or his denomination or the people that follow him. Because now what will happen? Blacks and Latinos and Native Indians, they would wake up, or indigenous people or first people, they would wake up to the truth. And you know what they do? They call it this pastor, a what? A dirty liar.
Right.
Disgusting. Because why? You had one simple, as you say, or one job to do and you failed in it. And this is why religion failed. And it failed up to the day. Because when you go to these prisons and you go to these places where Black, Latino, and Native Indian are being kept, and you say at a ransom, the first question it asks, and it asks them, hey, what religion you belong to? And these are questions that always like to pose us. With the religion, the first thing as a Christian, as a Muslim, I worship in Allah. That's the first thing that's come to them out. Now the question that I ask you do any research on that? Nah, just because why? Because now you just like you just for hire. So when they're done, use you and abuse you, now don't tell you, hey, nah, wherever you want to believe in, you can believe in it. You know? God is coming many different ways, in many different forms. And they confuse your whole mental. And this is why now, again, what we're reading about, this is why it's saying now, when it says, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. What thou seest, write in a book. This book didn't just come about just so. These records didn't just come about so. Man was in the right spirit, chosen, and again, they would demonize King James. Because why? Because of white supremacy. because of white people holding on, you say, all oppressors are holding that power, and having a hand in everything in the earth, and to choose what could be marked or labeled as, and what could be distributed. But again, one thing that they tried, and if they had a full understanding of these records, they would have destroyed a long time. But because the Most High God, as I say, this is why I gave the perfect example. Yeah, perfect example. The perfect example is when the Most High God tell, as you say, Satan, who's a perfect angel of the Lord, do all we can do, but just so. He didn't have the authorization to destroy this book. This beast didn't get authorization to destroy these records. If he had, he would have. But he didn't get authorization to do it. And this is why it's so important for us as Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to take heed and to thank the Most High God for righteous black men who could be able to come on this platform and bring truth out, just as we were taught, to make or to bring the awareness to the people, and to bring the awareness to God, and to bring the awareness because of utmost importance. Because now we read higher, we say what things that must shortly come to pass. Because why? We in that time. And every brother or sister with the awareness know and the seeing what taking place right now in the earth. But again, because our religion and because our Christianity, you're still thinking that there's hope. Still thinking that there's hope. Right?
Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Because of religion, and because of what religion taught, this would never be taught in the Christian church ever.
Right.
Go to any Christian church or religious church right now and tell them, let me open this book and let me read this. And from the time they start to read this and it reaches to this part now it's something that is going to expose the members. Because now, if you're not from this bloodline or you're not from this people, now you'll understand you will just, as I say, was just use and abuse. Use and abuse. Because now what going on here, what's taking place is something that is being revealed for what is to come and who we're seeing right now. And who we didn't understand. And now we can be able to go back and hold these records, the entirety of the book, and teach black people, Hispanic people, and Native American people. This big statue that is stick up throughout North, South, and Central America. With this depiction that you see of the image of the beast, and as you read on more, you will just see. And you now match up these two and see how you have been, as you say, you have been used and abused. And just a higher foot, let me say a higher, let me say heart. That's what I have to say. Heart. That is what it is. Right? Because why? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, as you say, our people. And sometimes when they say that they're crying out to brothers and sisters, like, hey, these bindings or these names that we've been called through all time serving in this empire. Now this is why now we see when the general will be teaching Jeremiah and say, tell me Benjamin, tell me Levi, tell me Ephraim. Now he recognizes that hey, this is who he is. He say, hey, West Indian, or black man, he call you by your name. Because why? This is who we, as you say, this is our people, this is our nation, this is our bloodline that we come up under. And the right. Because now without showing now, it's showing that hey, this is something that we should, bring back into our spirit in recognition that this is a brother I'm speaking to. This is just not any stranger. This is the brother I'm speaking to. And this is why again, the only place that you can that spirit or you can get that spirit is in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General. Only in him. Right? Going up, Bishop.
Verse 14. His head and his ears were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Right? And knowing this, again, having that holy here, again, what is being explained here, because remember now, it says in verse 12, and I turned to see the voice that spake with me. Because now remember now John walked in the time with Christ. So now like how we is here now. And neighbor. Long time I see my brother and you call out to me. Why do? I told one time. Because now the voice that I hear, it's a voice that, hey, I know this voice. I recognize this voice. So now in turning to see that voice now, this is who I see. Right? And when I see now again in a description of who I see in this vision. This is just so. This is as I say, this was something that was recorded that we could be able to destroy the white lie, the white depiction that they put up in the grandmother's house for over 400 years. And that will be always at the same Rakataya Irish line. The men above us, Commander GEN.YAHANNA, coming through the ranks, holding down this truth and not watering it down. To make sure that brothers and sisters get this. Not like, as you say, religious groups, and they join in and they say they're going to bring up, you're only hurting and harming people. You're destroying people's lives, you're destroying brothers and sisters' lives. When in reality, are you supposed to do what? Supposed to come up under this order? Because that's the order. That we walk, as you say, as one. One mind, one body, one spirit. This is who we're supposed to be. Now you not trying to jump off on the side, not trying to teach your own thing. And try to sway brothers away from this. And this is why again, our Christ, our King says it best. Because why? He understood what it means to bring back a family. And what it takes to bring back a family. And this is why, in his, they would call him, an austere man, because he knows what it takes to bring. We need to be corrected righteously. We need to be told, hey, we're doing the right. Christmas coming, what do you want to do? You have to knock your pan and sing Suka Santa and eat the pork? Nah, line right. Thanksgiving coming. The native I'd say, our first people, indigenous people, they slaughter recognition. Just with, you now trying to be genuine in feeding, as you say, a race or a nation of people. The turn around, I'm going to do the slaughter, big slaughter, almost to the point of extinction. But again, this is the point that they can only reach, because you know why? Both sides was our Father. And he did that just to show us this one thing, that he is the ultimate power in India. He holds a high reputation. And everybody that coming up under his instructions, coming up under obedience. And not doing what they want. And again, this is why again I always like to draw reference in the time of Job. Because Satan would always leave him to be as what society teach him as. You know, he had a fight with God, and you know, the Lord threw him down out of heaven. All kind of bull crap, all kind of nonsense. And only this, as you say, swaying people's mind from the truth. And not knowing that he has instructions to follow and he can't do what he wants. He can't do what he wants. That many, as you say, the debate about the bones of Moses. Again, he makes sides because he have a job to do. And this is why, again, the job that your pastor took up was a job where all oppressor had agreed on, and they continue on in taking up that spirit to help in the oppression of blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And this is why when we say come out of religion, we not just say come out of religion, we come out because this doesn't belong to you. These people, as you see, these other nations already have as you say, already have something signed and sealed. They already have some signed and sealed. You as well already have some signed and sealed, that covenant that we have with the Lord. And we must, as a people, come back to these instructions and stop following religion. Right? Go ahead, Pastor.
Okay. 14. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
We are Caesar yet. Caesar is a main rivalry now because now the important. And how you bringing all this? Caesar, the audience must see Caesar. Caesar, but don't sweat, as you say. Yeah. This is where it is, and just as I say, this is a description. And that description is something that, again, that the Christian church now started to pull it down. You notice they started to pull it down now. Right. Before they used to have, when the bus in the Psalms now, when the bus in the Psalms, with a long string, they had to put Caesar right in there. Right. So they know when the people now, they see Caesar now, they see the close eye and see Jesus. Right. I did Jesus the same. But now we're reading about that totally different Jesus here now. Right. Because now, when the people now, see what we now. What's the people? Dying here. How that looking up? How we scared looking tail so. Right. Everything now start to crumble in your mind. Because you know, it's by the washing and the water, by the word. This word start to wash your mind. The truth start to wash your mind. Now you realize it with now understanding that fire, baptism taking place right now. Right. Because now the truth speaking, the words going on. Now your mind, it can process what coming out. Right. Because the process where it was processing was lies. Now a lie, the lie and a truth. The lie and truth bounce up. Now is which one? Which one will stand? And what we know when we read the scriptures, the truth will always be the truth. Right. Will always be the truth. You can do what? It will always stand. And this is why this description it destroys the lies. Because now it say here and here and here, but white like wood. Go ahead.
Okay. 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if it burned in a furnace, and his voice like the sound of many waters.
Right? And he clear of that. Because now when John see that, John knew hey, nah. It's my brother speaking. recognize, because now it's like, as I say, you hear that voice, and one time you turn. One time you turn. And this is why again, it's so important. And go read it out there, and see our instructions. And this is why now, our King said this out of his own mouth. Right? You drop back and give him Matthew 5 and 17. He said this out of his own mouth. He said this out of his own mouth. And again, the pastors and them couldn't refuse. Because why? They were just, as you say, cause for hire, or prostitutes for hire. Right?
From Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Right. So now we say this. Let me start from Titi. Let me explain something.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. Ye are the soil of the earth, but if the soil have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
And this is where we are. That's that thing. We have been trodden under the foot of these nations for over 400 years. Because why? We move away from being what? That sort of the earth. And when I say we move away from being that sort of the earth, from the time we stop following these laws, statutes, and commandments, now we're back away. Now we will end up again in servitude. We end up in slavery. We end up, as we say, what they were called, you as a nation or a people, as you say, have no identity. So now being without identity, now we can call it what? I can call it Jamaican, I can call it Trinidadian. And here you know, and yeah, I love my nationality. I love to be a Trinidadian. I love to be a Jamaican. I love to be a Canadian. So now you know, taking or using the place or your residency, where you reside in, that's a residency. Is a resident Trinidad and Tobago, you are a resident of Jamaica, is a resident and say in America. That is not a nationality. And these other nations now understood something. Because why? When your laws are favored, now you easy manipulated, you easy persuaded. I can use any form or any means of doctrine to turn your mind from where you're supposed to be. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
And cannot be what?
Cannot be hid.
So despite all of that now, you still, despite that, as you say, you lost that favor. Notice, you're also a light. Because now you're amongst all the nations, and they recognize something. They recognize you being amongst them is being, as you say, it's their way of being prosperous. And last we read that, I think was in Deuteronomy, around the way it say, Genesis, where Mosai, I think, spoke to Abraham and tell him that how this is how the other nations and that will be prosperous by you. Right? So now you being scattered amongst them, this is how you're prosperous. This is why the war we in war. The war we in all the wars. The war we in World War I, the war we in World War II. Now blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians waking up. And the law was before them right now. And most side was warning us and telling we are able to tell come out. This is a reminder. What is taking place right now in the earth have no concern to do with you. what will happen? They will try the utmost best to see as much as us that they can drag into the wars. As much of us that they can, as you say, make us take on, as we say, their mark. Because now, when we take on, as we say, their custom, their culture, this is us taking on that mark. And the mark of what? Fighting for the peace. Join the army, join the military, we take on that mark. We take on the customs, the doctrine, the philosophy, we take on that mark. And we tell them, brothers and sisters, to remove or refrain yourself. Because your pastor will tell you that. Right now, your pastor don't even know how to come about, or even how to answer one of these questions. Because why? We were reading about the instructions and following Jesus Christ. And everything that we read about, the pastor, for he to redeem himself, he had away all that. That's the best he can do right now. Go on all that. Come to class and sit down. Just like we did, coming up into the truth and redeem yourself. All that nonsense or that garbage that we learn in this world or this society, in religion, drop it. So now we tell you, we teaching your pastor now, because you can't redeem yourself, you can't come up on the platform. Go on all that. And listen as we remind brothers and sisters who they are, who they're supposed to be, and who we are going to be, as we say, in the future. Light and youth. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and give it light unto all that are in the house.
Right? And this is where we shine right now. Your brothers and sisters, to see this light. Commanded general again, in the spirit of the Most High Christ. Look at the light that is shining. You see the example of that light. Look at it. If you only flip it, as you see, on any page or go up on any web page with the I.S.U.P.K is, and you just type in I.S.U.P.K, and you touch, as you see, you touch a button, see a class pop up. That light shining. This light, as you see, this light ain't hiding. This light shining, and it's shining for purpose, because the Most High God again do something, and again, brothers and sisters need to be reminded. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
And I can read 16 now.
And I'm plan 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Right? And that light that is shining before men, again, you see the works, you see the fruits. You see the fruits are, the labor that the men before us did. And we continue with that. And this is why we keep on telling brothers that's come to class. Because that is something that leads to, to redeem or to revive the spirit. Because this society will keep on sucking that spirit out of you daily. And as you say, at this time rolled on, they will even do it more, as you say, more, let me say, words can't describe it. The word I want to use, I will use it. Because now, as you say, on every platform, as you say, we learn the highest level of discipline as well. Coming out, as you say, a society that teaches us to be, as you say, the most, as you say, looked at as a person or people that don't have discipline. We don't need the highest level of discipline. And this is why, at the end of this platform, you were taught and you learned how to, as you say, to have a conversation, a righteous conversation. Not like we, as you say, pastor, and lie to you. and bring and promise here, you know, as you say, a sense of what we call disloyalty. And they telling that they be loyalty, and when you check it out, disloyalty, you can know they hide the truth from it. When they're done with them doing, them going back and read, see, because we if I tell them this, they will be talking. And I will tell them this, I'll tell them that next week. And only keep on doing that. And you know, being loyal as a, you know, a brother or sister, looking genuinely or searching for truth, you continue to fall after that. And that now your mind scarred. Now to come to the truth again. Now the most I call it embarrassing, I bring it to shame. And that shame is not about the righteous shame. Because now that I see that shame that we bring, you know, you will bring, let me say, dishonor to yourself and to your family, and that shame that is right. And that shame that is right is you know being tell the truth. And say stop the drugs, stop smoke, stop molest children, you know, stop being a harlot. That is a shame. That is a righteous shame, because now we're going to tell you this out of love. Out of love. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law,
Right.
till all be fulfilled.
Right. And why? There's a time of fulfillment. That time of fulfillment is what we're coming up on right now. Because now everything that we see is coming to pass. Everything that we see taking place, we can read about it. Everything that we read about, every instruction that come down through these records is a purpose. Because why? Now these reminders must be brought up. These reminders must be told to us. And why? As a people and as a nation, without these instructions, again, we'll continue to be, as you say, a people that is desired for, let me say, for molestation, for use and abuse. Right? Right? That more on that? Yeah, 19.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
And we have a purpose why this is being brought out. Because now there's instructions to follow. There's rules, there's laws, laws, statutes, and commandments. If we don't follow these instructions, then there's a judgment that will come onto you. And that judgment is from the Lord. This is why it says a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Lord. Why? Because now you teaching men to do so is an evil thing, wicked. The wicked to the highest level. And you didn't just learn that just so. It's because you know start to watch people that is not your people and see them as a state doing the most heinous act. And you will see if I get through. How we get through that? Why this is what I do. This, I say, rob, steal, I get through. Now here we you say, I can do that too and get through. I can be like, as I say, I can be a big, let me say, a big pimp. Or use sisters for hire. Because why? We see, as you say, the oppressors do it, and they get through. Now you know what you start to do? you started doing it in a more, let me say, always say we like to do things and we take it and we make it like if it's something normal. But when actually it's not right, not right. So we take a sister and we sell out for, let me say, for hire. And the way we do it now is like, hey, nice nothing. But really and truly not right inside that they want. And this is why it's a think not come to destroy. So what we are, you know, our teeth, 19 couple. You know, 19
Book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right? And this is something that point again. See the teaching brothers to do so, and teaching your sisters to do so. That's something that you say evil and wicked. Because now there's instructions again to follow. And you knowing that these instructions will lay down, now we should do it again. This is why we tell the pastor, you see, you can't come up on the chat again. You're on that. You have a conversation. Come down to the school. Come on, as you say, just like, you know, most I God or, you know, or redeemed us. And you will be able to, you know, to fall in line. You know, pray and ask the Most High God to move your spirit, to move your way and stand for truth. Because our desire, the same man desire this, desire good thing. But it must have a way to come up with it. In design that not where you've been taught. And you sit down under our press and learn the wicked ways and you go out near your mega church and go on, you know, your big building and start to hire and take blacks Latinos and Native them for hire and use and abuse them. And when the Most High God bring the plagues, to the other, see that plague that the Lord bring, which was that COVID-19, was a very, very good example of us understand that the Most High God is good. And He exposes you at any means. And with that, He can show you two things. He exposes you and He can show you how your tongue can twist. Because now you're in a predicament, right? And being in a predicament, you always say about follow God, and as you move it, as I always say, these things are never get show you. You can go back and you can read. The same thing when the plagues came on Pharaoh say you do. Say stop it. And I go stop it. And as it stopped, you might go back where it's supposed to be. Wickedness, evil, dire pastor, dire human. This is a religious organization. Because now they have a king for brothers and sisters who I say were faced in many challenges in many different ways. And when they're supposed to be, as I say, the point where you can turn and you can be for the assistance in helping our brother and sister, they were the ones now who would shun our brother and sister. They would turn the back. And this same brother and sister would sit in, let me say, in the congregation and would support all what they would bring about. And when time for assistance, they would turn their backs. And this is why again, the pastor, again, he can't come up on the chat. It never come up on the chat. Because why? Now everything that is being brought out, it exposes something. And this is why again, the advice that we give the pastor or the imam, all again all that. Get all that. And you know, get yourself in line. Come up under these grants. You have a desire to teach, no problem. Is that brother? Come on. women have a place. We have a woman pastor inside there. Now woman teacher inside there. Women have the place. Women have the order. And you see, come as a woman, you know no pastor. These men and them who let you know that you can be pastor and you can know. No. Our records say that the flock I pass here, let you know that. 1 Corinthians 11:3. Let you know that there is the order. Woman have a head. Have an order, and this structure still stands until today. Right? Give me Romans 6 and verse 1. So that
Book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 1. What shall ye say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?
And this is our question there, Pastor, because everything I read the laws, we read it concerning, the revelation that was revealed unto John. John, hearing and recognizing and give a description whereby we will be fooled today with this depiction and this claiming homosexual, or as you say, or this depiction of somebody that is not your people. John revealed that was revealed unto John's last time, whereby we can do that. Read where our king said out there, and say out their own mouth. He didn't come to our way to his instruction. For the sword says light. We will hide no more. Hearing all of this, now hear the fact that we as a people and a nation should understand that if we come back to, as you say, to these laws, statutes, and commandments, come back to these instructions, now the Most High God will again will continue or look over us and know that there's some change within this people, and show and say that our mercy. That's why our King set that standard, and us coming up underneath righteous teachings, righteous sayings, righteous instructions, it will shed a light on us. And this is why our life will not go. Because why? Because of his instruction. And this is why we read it again for us to turn away and stop following these pastors. Right? Go ahead.
Okay, verse 2. God forbid, how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
Right? Because why? There's always a way to come up or to move away from that, what we call sin. And again, voice sin, again, we read about standard here. There's always that pathway, and this is why again, when we read, we don't read how we own with all find instructions. And these instructions will always stand. It will change, the truth will always stand. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 3. Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Jesus Christ were baptized into his death?
And why say that so many of us? Notice it didn't say everybody, because now religion on our own, and again these religious organizations, they move brothers and sisters from the street. They move, and you see, they had a job to do at the field. And what is being mentioned here, again, Paul speaking, again, just as we read the school, again, under his watch. And seeing the same thing taking place with the brothers and sisters, searching and seeking the truth. Now it will be exposed to them if you're genuinely seeking it. And the Most High God, I said, no man can come unto me lest the Father draw him. We draw him by what we read all the time. Right? And you see, read over 3 Babakasha.
Verse 3. Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Jesus Christ were baptized into his death?
And this was our question. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Therefore, we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness.
Becoming, and you see that new person, walking in newness of life, is we know, knowing that things that we did before, we walk in the customs and the philosophies, and not following these commandments, not following these instructions, we were dead. And taking up and walking after the instructions and, as I say, the highest level of discipline that any brother can display or king did that, and it is expected for us when we say that King Christian, your pastor follow, the teachings of Jesus Christ, to follow these teachings at that level that that would bring you to the point where everything that you speak, it must be out of our record. It must be, so now we move into the left or right, but we follow it straight, direct. Because now, as you see, there's a way, that as I say, for straight and narrow is the way that leads to life, and broad is the way, and wide is the path that leads to destruction. Now, this pathway is straight and narrow. So now we narrowing it down. We narrowing it down. So what? So our pathway to life. And by narrowing it down now, what we need to do is to get in line. And this is why now out the pastor again get in order. Out. Right?
Go ahead. God, verse 5. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection.
Right? Why? Just as I see a lot of brothers and sisters, at that time witnessed that, it's the same thing that, on our King's return, brothers and sisters, we follow the instructions, these laws, statutes, and commandments, we witness that. We will witness that on his return. Right? Yes, Jump to 12.
Verse 12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey in the lust thereof.
Right? Five. No, be in charge and say, when we know this, the Most High God for us. So Noah is like, speaking to brothers and sisters, looking for change, wanted to say, move away from religion. Come to I.S.U.P.K under command in general. Come and redeem yourself. Come and, as you say, shed yourself. Come and sit down and say 90 days. All we learn, drop it. Redeem yourself. Because why? You continue in that pathway, it's the pathway where. Imam prosper over, a pastor prosper over, and they just want to say, company. Who knows? Most I God can move their mind, and you know still struggling in knowing that what you have been taught was a lie, and can't comprehend. Although there's righteous counsel, there's always righteous counsel, and this is why again I.S.U.P.K of the Commander General and will always give the righteous cause. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 13. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourself unto God, and from the dead, and your members as instruments.
It's here again. This is why it's so important that these records, as reminders unto us, right? And it says, as those that are alive from the dead, because now a lot of us have been redeemed. A lot of us have moved and turned away from the lifestyle that we were living, customs, walking after philosophy, knowing that these pagan holidays or these holidays that are coming up, it kill you, it destroy your spirit, your mind, it destroy your children, it destroy families. It leave let me say, homes without fathers, it leave homes without mothers, it leave homes without children. This is the end result of you taking on, of following these religions. You following the feast days, the high days, I would say. The Lord said that we hate and despise their SHALAM feast days. Why? Because now what they're doing, they're just bringing more oppression and more sin upon our people. And because now we really want to be partaking in it, supporting the nonsense, flourishing the business by buying the Christmas gift, buying the this, buying the that. For what? For what? Right, go ahead.
Verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are under Salakia, for ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Right. I know this, the Christian church like this. We are under no law, we are under grace. But not knowing again, because now you're so smart. You went to the school of higher learning, you're so educated, you're in school of theology, and they teach you all of this. So they'll tell you, hey, now you're under grace. But not knowing again, when you read it now, I'd say read it in context. Now you understand what it's talking about when you read down and you know anymore. Because why? You hear this, you jump off one time and say, we not that you are under grace. Go ahead.
Okay. What then?
You see how we take it out? Right after I say law and grace. What then? What then? Answer that. You're real, like you say, you're real educated. Now we read in the context. Read it coming down. You say, what then? You're not law, you're not grace. What then? Go ahead.
What then? Shall we sin?
Right.
Because we are not under the law, but under grace. God forbid.
So you see how we drop it in? Now we show it now. It's like you saying this. We're not under the law. You're under grace. Now I ask you, what then? We go sin because we're not under the law, because we're under grace. Nah, God forbid. You're not supposed to do that because now you know what happened there, you understand what's going on. You now trying to do what? Just as we say, everything has two sides to it. Everything has two sides to it. You just draw a reference at two sides. Now we're running on that. One. What we now read in Matthew 5:17. What Christ said. He said, think not that I've come to destroy the law of the prophets. Now we're reading here. A question was posed there, and because you know was taught by a religious leader, a pastor, they will see this. Because now all them when he studied You know, study that basket around. That basket around. And you tell them, hey, what do you call it? Offering. Yeah. They all do it, passing around that basket. And they even know the meaning of the purpose behind that. Because now this is why we tell you, not affiliated with no religious group or organization. Because what they teach not from inside out. They don't teach them. They don't hear someone they talk. They don't teach. Because now, again, we just make a difference between our church and school. You go into a worship in that school, that place of learning. So when you go down inside that religious, as you say now, that church, and you say that place higher, you go in and you say, be this man or be this member by everywhere that doctrine. You know, that scripture says, force to and fro. Force to and fro. Right? We are now. Yes, 16.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants. His servant ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto unrighteousness. Verse 17. But God be thanked that ye were the servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart that of the doctrine which was delivered to you.
So now again, just as we read and brought up these instructions, it's the same thing that we were taught as righteous young black men coming to the truth. Holding this truth at a high standard. Because now men before us, they obey. And that this is why again we say obedience is better than sacrifice. Because why? Now to follow these instructions, it means to obey them. And again, there's a flip with the command generally, and where this oppressor, as you say, went to the Hebrew academy that was being kept. And they were asking, meeting up the general after, and asking them, let me say a couple of questions. And then coming up to this point, where he asks, and he said that, well, if you will believe, God blindly, and God generally, and others can take it. He said, why not? Why not? And then he used the example of Abraham, or forefather, the covenant that was given unto him. And he went in unto him and he did as I say. And depth breakdown and highlighted something. And I know that this probably fly over the heads of as you say, of the ones that have not been taught or not been learned or sit down in these classes. But I know the brothers and sisters who sat in these classes and them would have understood what is really taking place and what is happening right now. And it shows that we follow these instructions, we didn't need remembrance as we say, no more to sin. Because now we understand, we know something now. And what we know, if we turn back, the Lord forbid us to do that. Forbid us to do that. And this is why when brothers and sisters that we say, these religious groups of this great world move away, these are the example for us who in the truth now to recognize and to take heed and to continue and to walk upright in the truth. Continue to bring that reminder to brothers and sisters. Right? So again, continue to bring these reminders, continue to remind brothers and sisters that this work that has been done, the Most High God already, poured out the Spirit of this truth, because He has a reputation. And His reputation will continue despite, if any brother or sister take it or we take it, that this work is going to stop, it's going to continue. It's going to continue. Because why? We see the men before us. Oh, that I say this race is to the end. It's to the end. And at that time, this is what we do. We enjoy it. We enjoy it. We're going through. But we will going to the end. And this is why we see the examples of the men before us. The men are present right now with us. Commanding GEN.YAHANNA, generals, captains, officers, the young men coming up, sisters in this troop, holding it down in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. Right? So again, we will continue to go up on our webpage, continue to like, share, subscribe to the classes, continue to reach out to brothers and sisters, continue to bring that reminder, just as we reminded, and continue to pay your tithes. And again, this is our most important. I know we're going through struggles, we're going through pain. The Most High God carrying you and testing you. And as I say, as long as that way open up, don't ever forget that you say you forget the first stuff. But now this is something that we need to always keep and resonate in the spirit. The Most High God brought us into this. And just as He brought us into it, He can bring, as you say, we could be tested. Because now I gave that example in our records where men were tested. And I always say the same thing to stand out. Just as as you say, Christ went through His time. And at the end, I would say that Satan even got past season. There will always be that time where you'll be picked. But when that time comes about, know that there's a family that you will always reach out to. And this is who we have not been reminded by religion, by this Christian pastor. And this is why again, the pastor can answer, come on, no sweat. Again, I.S.U.P.K channel, like, share, subscribe to the classes, work on the webpage, reach out to the numbers and then dial numbers. Again, they connect with your brothers, they connect with your family, they connect with everything that is going on right now. Again, if you want more information, again, reach out to the numbers. Again, join us, again, every Monday here in the building, come to class, and we have classes tomorrow. A joint street class, I.S.U.P.K, North Carolina, again, we take Captain at TITHES, Captain Attack, Wednesday, DC class as well too, Captain at TITHES, Captain SHALAM, bringing out, anything, any question, and again on a Tuesday, a joint street line again with GEN.YAHANNA. Brothers and sisters again, come, the school is open, come through. Right? Saturday, again, Sabbath service, that will be from 10 to 12, right? The school is open again. So we have a full week activity. Come through, join us. Again, here in our street from I.S.U.P.K channel, right? That as the glass level. Christian of Samantha.
Security announcements. We are I.S.U.P.K for the Burmese on 25th Street, New York, under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are implemented for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves on the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from them to speak to a brother or sister.
There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from them to marry. Tithe, which is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the church where you partner or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever monk would like to give for common holy convocation. Your common holy convocation you have the feast of the dedication, which is Hanukkah, which is the 25th day of the 9th month. And space of 8 days, that will be on Wednesday, 25th December, 2024. You can find that in First Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. You might appear on our to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which include black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf. And that beside Madian, the panel of the which means stand and face the east, you can see the Lord's Prayer in you. Abanaw, Shemaya, Udash, Aya, Shamka, Aw, Lapaka, Sabaka, Zaka, Aya, Aisha, Maratisa, Wa, Aya, Shemaya, Tanda, Wakam, Ka, Wam, Salaka, Kapawatna, Salakna, Kapawatna, Wala, Sayana, Sayawan, Abad, Oshina, Maya, right, Aya, Aka, Amalakwa, Ala, Akapara, Ireland, Aman. Is your father, I need power, we don't do it, you know, as the apostles left stay, pray, so that, give us some that, give us that, that's not, temptation, deliver some people, and is a kingdom of power, and the door, very Soviet, the city of Kap. Sir, men of Israel, let's give the teacher one courtesy salute, and Madam Shabbat, and Madam, Barak, the Hawa Hashem, and Shagra Patra, Yarimata. Sir, we give the sisters online our courtesy salute, and Madam Shabbat, and Madam, Barak, the Hawa Shemal Atan, Hashem, and Shagra, Yarimata,